Hell yeah, Paw Paw. Happy Friday. And today we have Manny Blu with us in the studio. What's going on, Manny?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Guys, I have actually showcased Manny's music before. I've actually been kind of bumping his tunes for a while now, and I got to reach out and we planned this. So we're going to talk to Manny about everything that he's got going on. Now, you are a Canadian I just said that so wrong. Now, you are a Canadian country singer, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So, where are you from Canada?
I'm from Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
That's awesome, dude. And
Yeah,
and and you actually used to be an MMA fighter, right?
that was the dream a while back. Yeah,
Well, let's hear. Can you just kind of give us like a short little story between then and now, just kind of explaining like who you are, what you do, and how you landed
yeah,
country music and how you're doing so well with that.
yeah. Well, I was fighting MMA. I started when I was 16 and training and all that stuff. And I got injured in my first fight, which I won. Thankfully, ended up undefeated. But um, yeah, I had to take some time off and wanted to find something to do while I was recovering. I had a torn quad, so I couldn't do too much. And came across a video on YouTube of BB King playing "Thrill Is Gone," and thought that was just so cool because you think of a guy singing and playing guitar. You think he's mostly strumming, doing rhythm. Probably you don't see too many guys playing lead. And kind of call and answer with their vocals and their guitar. So I didn't really know what he was doing. I couldn't quite understand it, but I wanted to find out and I wanted to learn. And once I started diving into wanting to play guitar and learning how to play and singing, um, I had buddies that would come home from their hockey seasons that were big country fans and would want me to play country music because they wanted me to hear their favorite song. They wanted me to sing. They wanted to hear me sing their favorite songs. And we're like, you can play guitar and sing. Why don't you play this song and that song and this song and that song? And I was like, all right, let's do it. So when somebody asked me what songs I play or what kind of music I play, I think I had more country music songs in the repertoire than anything else. So I kind of became a country singer on accident.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. I mean, it's great music. It's so funny the way that you put that. I play music and stuff as well. I'm an artist from Ohio, but I would consider myself like the same way, like what you just said. Like I've never heard it put that way.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was just cool, and I started writing and getting demos done and stuff like that, and was able to make a connection down to Nashville with Olay. I think now they're Anthem, and they sent me some songs. I recorded them. They helped me set up the studio in Nashville and recorded that with John Willis. And yeah, a year and a bit down the road, we got second EP coming. Recorded that with Aaron Estes. He's an absolute beauty. And sonically, I think I went a different direction, but wanted to implement more of the blues and a bit of that rock stuff that I really like in this new EP.
Well, I think that's awesome. I think that I really like the blues stuff that you do. I like you have some rock roots within your country music. You have
Hmm.
you got a little bit of pop. You got a little bit of R&B. Like you have like a little bit of everything. At least that's what I notice.
Yeah,
And I think it's really cool because what I notice, what makes a good album to me is when you have a bunch of different songs written on various different topics, and
hmm,
they all are completely different with what the roots are, but they still all flow together. And
yeah,
I like your last album, like the one that had girls and beer,
hmm,
and
yeah,
like I thought that album like flowed start to finish, and like I've kind of seen a trend with that as well with all of your music, which I think is really cool. Someone that can throw in flavors of every kind,
hmm,
and still make it sound like it's still like one message. Those are some damn good artists. So like that's one thing that I've noticed about your music, man. And I
Thanks,
love it.
Mal.
I love
I
it.
pre- I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we were up here. There's a lot more country pop, and my buddies they weren't diving deep into um, the old school stuff. They were really liking whatever was the top 40 hits at that time. So to me, kind of getting into country music I guess in a bit of a weird way, those were the songs that I knew. And that's what I thought country music really was until, I got down to Nashville and understood that you can add different influences and different colors and flavors to the music. And really wanted to do that and kind of pay homage to the reason I got into music for this new EP, which is blues. And I like blues for what it is. I like the rock blues. I like rock music as well. And, obviously there's guys like Chris Stapleton that kind of fit all of it. And you can't really pinpoint him in one. And obviously he's kind of a guy that, can just do it. And that's really cool. And I think that, I want to be able to know that I could put out a good song that I believe in, and whatever the specific style is or feel is, that it's a song that I can pull off and that people will recognize it as a Manny Blu song. So.
Yeah, dude, originality, and I'm sure that you've probably noticed it, like in your journey from start to finish, from the moment you picked up your guitar to now, and then thinking about the future. Like, you're still developing your sound and you're still developing that originality, and I think it's a really big thing that, especially like now with today's country music business. Don't be the next Luke Combs. Don't be the next Chris Stapleton. Don't be the next whoever. Be Manny Blu. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's very important that you develop that stuff. And I also think it's also very funny how you were like, now Nashville and music and country music, like you can throw in all these flavors. So do you think that takes away from, so one of the big arguments right now, not a big argument, is like people just always trash in any country that's not outlaw. And in my opinion, I think that's shitty. Like, I think music is art and there's room for all kinds of art. But what is your opinion on that kind of debate and that kind of like shit talk necessarily? I guess that's what you call it.
Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. Man, I like the old school. I mean, I listen from everything to, and this is, I listen to everything from B.B. King to Cody Johnson to Motley Crue.
Right, man.
And everything in between. And I mean, I think a good song's a good song. I mean, there's new country that is very good. There's new country that is, quite shit. So, I mean, I think people are picking on the ones that aren't very good and then saying, well, see, look at this one. It's the same. And it's not. It's a better, pop country song. And I think I don't see it. I mean, I think there's enough going on in country music. I really, besides, I do like taking a step outside every now and again, but quite often I stick to country music. And there's so many different things that you can find within country that you don't really have to go outside unless it's something really, really, crazy. And and I like rock and I like blues, but for the most part, I stay within country. And I think that it's cool that there's different styles and different artists doing different things. I don't see it. I really don't. I don't really shit on music. I mean, I think a bad song is a bad song, and that's in any style. A bad blues song is going to be bad, and a bad pop country song is going to be bad.
Yeah, so. Yeah. No, it honestly, dude, it irks me because, like, I'll be honest, like, I'm not like an outlaw, and I can't talk today. I'll be honest, like I'm not an outlaw, and you'll never see me sing about something that's not real. You'll never see me wear something that's not me. I used to be judged all the time for going up on stage wearing a Bass Pro hat and some Timberland boots. Like, talk about some weird clashing styles. But like, I think that if you got a story to tell and if you got a picture to paint, and if you have the talent to do so, do it. And that just because you paint it a little bit differently than what people painted it 20 years ago or what people are, I don't know. I feel like it's really turning into a who drives a bigger truck. You know what I mean? It's like I'm more country, and I think it's stupid because like I think country music is probably one of the most artful genres of music because of everything that's being thrown into it. And I think there's just a lot of people getting butthurt for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys that are still doing country is really cool. Like the guys like Cody Johnson. I got a buddy down in Nashville, Blaine Holcomb. He's doing, something like that too. And I think that's needed as much as anything else is needed. As much as a little bit of rock is needed, a little bit of some party songs, some sad. So I mean, there's so much room, and it's not like, oh, my song's more country. I mean, I think country has, and I've said it before, but I think country music's now become more of a vibe in a community than it is a sound. And I think you can't forget the storytelling in country music. So to say that this is a real country song, this is not a real country song, and it's like, why? Because it doesn't have a steel or a fiddle. I mean, I'm a fan. I like steel. I like fiddle. I like all of it. And I like sort of that type of country. But you can't say that this is a better storytelling song than that one because that one has a fiddle and that one doesn't. Right. So, yeah,
I'm right there with you. I don't know. It kind of gets on my nerves. Just, I don't know. I don't like shit talking. I don't like shit talk in general. I don't like, especially like unnecessary stuff. Like, especially like with music, like you said, especially country music. It's a community, man. It's a family. And, I've been down to Nashville and I've seen that and I felt it. It's just confusing sometimes as to like why it's become a competition rather than we're all in this together. Let's make some damn good music together. Let's all chart together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I got buddies that, we're doing different types of stuff. I like his stuff. He likes my stuff. We're not competing in, I got more country in my song than yours.
Yeah.
It's like, here's my background. This is what I like. I didn't grow up with, the old school guys with 90s country. I didn't grow up with none of that. So I can't go ahead and pretend that that's what I should be doing. I like blues. I like rock. I like country. I like pop elements to country. I like the rock elements. I like the blues. I like, the country elements to country, if you want to call it that. I mean, I think there's certain songs with Jason Aldean where he's got those heavy guitars, those big drums, and a steel, and I'm like, that's perfect.
It's sick.
That's it right there, right? So, I dig it.
I think the biggest thing is authenticity, especially like when you're an artist. Like you said, you're not going to sing about something, you're not going to do something because that's not your background. Like, rightfully so. Like, you're you, express you how you want to express yourself, and in terms of country music, be whoever the hell you want to be with it. I mean, I think you're making damn good music.
Thank you. Yeah. I think I had an artist that I know down in Nashville tell me, he played a songwriters round and then was like, hey, what do you think of this song? I was like, it's a fun song. It's really cool. He goes, yeah, you kind of need some of those nowadays, eh? And I was like, no, you don't really need it. It's a funny song. Yeah. Do you want a funny song on your album, or do you want it to be a little more meaningful and serious? That's the conversation. It was a well-written song and it was funny. I thought it was cool. But I wouldn't record it because you need it. I record it because you wrote a fucking funny song and you want to put that out.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. So, tell us a little. You had a new single that released. Was it last Friday? Yeah. And that was Old Money.
Old Money.
So I want to first of all talk about the making of it. Who'd you write it with? Is it all solo write? How long did it take you to write it? I want to hear about like the meaning behind it as well. Like, just tell me all about this song.
Yeah. Well, it's very easy to answer that question. I didn't write it, so it didn't take me very long. It didn't take me long at all. I said, wow, that's a good song. I want it. And then that was it. So, no, I was going through some songs to record, and that was definitely one that piqued my interest right away. It was written by the producer, Aaron Estes, who unbelievable guy, and he's got such a mind for music that I just love being in studio and making the EP with him. We sat down beforehand and went song by song. What do we want in it? How do we see it? What do we want to do? And thought that it was a really cool experience. a really cool thing to get to do. So, um,
So did you recorded it in Nashville?
yeah, I recorded in Nashville. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the meaning of it. I think it was sonically right off the go, a song that I thought was perfect and exactly what I wanted. And it was a song that was an easy. It was very easy for me to say, hey, you wrote the song, you're producing the album, you did the instrumentation of the demos and stuff like that. Um, so make the album sound like this song. And Old Money was right down the pipe, exactly what I wanted for a feel and a vibe and everything else. So um, it was a lot of fun to record. It was a lot of fun to make, and I'm really happy it's out now.
Dude, I think it's killer. I was actually just listening to it today, just not because I was gonna have a podcast with you, but like I have like so much of your music saved, it's like crazy because it's just good shit.
Well, man, I appreciate that because you know what? I think the first album that I did, to speak candidly, the first album I did was obviously a lot more pop country and stuff like that. When I went down to Nashville, obviously hanging out in the different communities, I felt like a lot of other people are writing and they're doing a lot of stuff and they're trying to keep that country alive kind of thing. And I don't know if I necessarily got the respect when I first got down there, in certain communities. So to put out something that is what I have now and being respected by such as yourself, like other artists and people who love country music, I think is really cool and something I want to accomplish with this album.
I mean, it's a big payback, like if you I don't know, if you for me if you hear it from other artists, because typically like you don't really hear, I don't know, I typically get into tips, but if you hear it from another artist, like like it's saying something. It's the same thing as like if I ever go to a bar and if I ever see a live musician playing, like I'm gonna tip him $1. You know what I mean? Like it's just that it's that respect, and like once you get it, it's better than anything that you could ever get from country music. It's I don't know. You get in those communities whenever you start being recognized. It's just it's a different feeling for sure.
It is, and I understood the whole thing, and I get it. But then I also went on the other side, and it's like, you know what? There's music I want to make, and I want the respect, that I would like to have. Going back on that album, obviously it was my very first album, and I learned lessons from it. But I'm like, if you're gonna judge me on what I have come, not what I've done, because I've got some cool stuff coming. I'm really proud of, and I'll stand behind this. Now you can feel however you feel about my old album. And that's fine, and I get it. And that was a lot of fun to make as well, and it was cool to have new music out. I've learned and grown from it, and I think having something new that I can really stand behind, and now it's just a matter of either you like it or you don't. But this is what I'm doing moving forward, and I can stand behind it.
Yeah, and I think that having the passion for it, and the importance that you're doing something for you. I don't know, I'm a firm believer that like, dream it, do it, achieve it, make it happen. And I think that if you stand behind it that much, and if it's so passionate, if it's authentic, and if it is, I'm telling you right now, authenticity goes a long way. So if it's something that you want to do, like, dude, highly encourage it. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna play "Old Money" by Manny Blu, and we will be back. I think we're gonna talk about Nashville for a little bit, and we'll tell some funny stories. All right. Let me just refresh this here. Good stuff, Manny. Good stuff. Cutting out on what? Yeah, that's good. No worries. No worries. All's good. So we're gonna play. We'll play that "Old Money." Dude, do you have any others? Because like typically, like in between the breaks, I'll play a couple other songs. Is there like any other thing that like is there any other songs you'd want me to like push? Born to Ride. And you got a music video for that, right? Or am I making that up?
No, we have a music video for it, and I think we got over 200,000 views.
Yeah, we're gonna. Um. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna. This is how I keep track of my stuff. 1 second.
Through a heaven high iron gate, stone fountain at the end of the driveway. Jet on standby, full tank ready to fly. Million acres, horses we'd never ride. Hedge fund, yacht club, high fashion. Islands in the winter, summers in the Hamptons. We ain't gotta worry about nothing. Me and you, girl, our love is like our love is like, money. Somebody's gotta be this rich, might as well be us. You can call.
Hell yeah, Paw Paw. And you just got done listening. Well, okay, that sounded stupid as well. Hell yeah, Paw Paw. And that was Old Money by Manny Blu. Now, Manny, before we started this second segment, we were literally just talking about you playing some shows. You said you played a couple shows in Ohio?
Yeah, played a couple of shows in Ohio, opened up for Ashley Martin, and then we got to play Collision Bend as a Blue Crew happy hour, and got to meet Kurt Freeman, which is pretty cool.
And you said he was he was a little bit taller than what you imagined.
Yeah. He was, So we've been chatting a little bit over, Instagram DMs because we're both promoting the thing, and he was super cool to he was really cool to promote with. He's a guy who cared and obviously got from there, and so I was excited to meet him. And when he walked up to me, he just looked so much taller and bigger, and I felt short and tiny next to him. So. I was like, oh, here we go. Oh, what's up, Kurt? And yeah, super, super nice guy. He's awesome. I absolutely love Kurt. He's a beauty.
So, okay, that was good. That's pretty much what I just missed that intro part. So do you live in Nashville?
I just bought a place. It's hard for me to say this while I spent most of this year, obviously, in Montreal. I think Nashville's home, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, I've definitely found Nashville to be home. I find that the culture and the environment and everything down there is kind of exactly what I've been looking for.
Speaks to your soul, man. It's like the first time I was down there, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. It just grabs you, dude.
Yeah, and I think Montreal being a big city is it's got some pretentiousness and things like that, and things that have bugged me in the past and not know what to do about it, and go to Nashville, and literally any songwriter who's written any hit can be sitting at any bar, and you won't know it. There's no ego really. There's no ego. There's no bullshit. I think down in Nashville, I think everybody kind of respects each other pretty good. So, I came back and I saw like some people acting tough or acting like there's something, and I'm like, man, this is so not for me here anymore. I enjoy I've been in Montreal because my brother and friends and my parents are here, but other than that, Nashville is definitely home, and I definitely get along with more people down in Nashville.
Dude, I couldn't agree more, and I envy I cannot wait to be down there and to do all of that. But I agree. What's your so if you're spending time in Nashville, do you have a couple of favorite pastimes that you like? Now, that being said, COVID not being being in existence here.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Yeah, so free COVID, what do you do, and where's your favorite hangout in Nashville?
Oh man, tough question. There's a lot of cool spots. I enjoy hanging out. I mean, I think when I'm down there, trying to put myself back in pre-COVID because you kind of get used to this since
It's normal
we've been
now.
in it and yeah for a couple of months. But I think pre-COVID most of what we do is rehearse, hang out with the guys. My lead guitar player, my drummer were the two first guys that I met and hung out with and hired for the band when I got down to Nashville, and they're still some of my best friends down there. So now my drummer Joe, he just texts me at any time. He's like, "Hey, let's we hitting Doghouse at 8." I'm like, "We're hitting Doghouse at 8 or Red Door at 9 or whatever it is." So Red Door and Doghouse are typically the spots that you can find us at. Yeah,
I heard Red Door's pretty cool. I've not been there.
Red Door is Red Door's pretty nuts. I mean, it's just cool. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. Friends that come down don't like going, but I think you have to understand Nashville to really appreciate Red Door. But I'm sure you would. It's Red Door is something special, I think. So I'm a fan.
It's funny because like I'm just looking at your hat and I think it's sick. And before we talked earlier, I was like, is that a Travis Austin custom hat? And you're like it sure is. Like how the hell do you know that?
Well, yeah. So it is the Travis Austin hat, and he's really cool. I ordered a couple of hats from him before meeting him, and then he messaged me telling me he was going to be in Nashville and. Told him we were out at Red Door actually, and we were able to hang out and create a friendship. And I think everybody that works down at his shop, Mike Ryan and Allie, have always been super helpful with anything I need as well as Travis. And I can't wait to go back. I mean, I know that there's a lot going on down in Nashville now and things like that. But I can't wait to go back and see everybody, and that's it. But I was wearing a Travis Austin hat before I met him, and my beard was longer, and I was getting into my Uber, and somebody came up to me and they ran over, and they're like, wait. I'm like, well, what's going on? He's like, I know you. I was like, yeah. What's your favorite song? They're like, you're Travis Austin. I was like, oh. No, I'm not.
Did you tell him this?
I did. I said somebody thought I was you. I actually messaged him. This is before we even hung out and were friends. I was like, hey, I was out in Nashville tonight, and I was wearing one of your hats, and somebody thought I was you, and he thought it was hilarious. So we have a picture together of us kind of looking the same. So it's pretty funny.
Dude, what we need to do is next time I'm in Nashville, next time you're in Nashville, all three of us will go to Red Door and we'll kick it and have a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would love to have a good time with you, and I'd love to meet Travis Austin, but I don't know how famous he is down there if he's untouchable, man.
I don't know.
I just like meeting people.
You know what the thing is too is like I haven't been down there in a couple of months now, so I don't really know what everybody's situation is. I know he recently moved there, I think permanently, brought his family over because he was going to try to do half, I think, there in Dallas. But, yeah, so, there's a lot of things going on. I just bought a new place almost basically virtually online. I mean, I have a realtor there that I trust and respect, and she was awesome. So I was here in Montreal and bought an apartment in Nashville as opposed to renting, and I wanted to feel more like home and kind of make it the way I want to.
Yeah.
So – I can't wait to go down there, see my apartment, see my friends, my band, and everybody that's there, and go back to Red Door.
Dude, that's awesome. I think it's sweet. So this is kind of a quick change of subject. Yeah. Are you? I want to hear a little bit about your journey because, like, you're obviously very successful with music. You've opened up for. First of all, tell me the people you've opened up for, just real quick.
We opened up for Ashley Martin in Ohio for 2 nights. We did a whole tour with George Canyon, who's on a Canadian tour. We did George Canyon, Doc Walker, and Charlie Major. That was a lot of fun. And that's right now about it. I mean, I think that we were able to. With the success of that tour, and it was a 2-month tour on a tour bus, which was awesome. With the George Canyon tour, we were able to do our own smaller headlining shows that following fall. And so that opened up opportunities for us. And I think this year we were wanting to do a lot more. We had showcase booked. We had a plan for the year to roll through Ohio again and roll through certain places that we've had success at. And obviously, not being able to do that, we've tried to make connections with the Blue Crew Happy Hour virtually. And
I think that's been really cool. The Blue Crew Happy Hour. I
yeah,
think
and that's what
really cool.
that's what we met Kurt doing, and the whole thing was really designed for um, live shows, in between big dates, and be able to roll into a brewery that is probably not used to having a live music, and do something stripped down and hang out and play some acoustic stuff. And that's how I got to meet Kurt, and everybody now thinks it was a live stream. It began live stream, but it actually began live. We were just had to kind of cut that short because of COVID, and readapted it for what was going on. But we got 4 in Nashville. We were workshopping them in Nashville in February, and then we got to do. I'm trying to remember. I think we only did 2 because we had the 2 shows at Ash. So we did one in Ohio, one in Hamilton, Ontario, and then we had a show at Rock and Horse the following day. And then COVID was we were struck by COVID and had to cancel the tour.
That sucks, man. I hate to hear that, but you and I both know that you're going to be back on the road once this is over.
Yeah, I can.
But before I got sidetracked with asking who all you've opened for, I want to know your journey. So, like a lot of people in this podcast, one of my intentions for it was to, I'm a dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking at my dream every day.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be the resource to people that I never had, trying to teach them the tips and tricks, the do's and don'ts, and just kind of talking through my journey as an artist. Now, I want to know about your journey. So, like, from what point did you start to kind of explode, and like, what all did you do in the steps? Because I feel like everyone kind of has a root story that explains like how they got from point A to point B, and like, I want to know that, and I'm sure that these listeners want to know like kind of how you got from point A to point B.
Yeah. So, when I decided I wanted to turn my attention more towards music, working on guitar, working on vocals, of course, but I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. Luckily, at the time, I had come in contact with my old manager, who had done a lot of good in a very short amount of time, and then I didn't need him much anymore. But he put me in contact with a man named Jim Cressman, who is an awesome dude up here in Canada, and he was the one who was able to get me in contact with Ole in Nashville because he knew a guy there, and so that connection was built. Got to the studio, recorded the Leave It Like It Is EP in 2 shots, 2 different trips to Nashville, June and July of summer of 18. And while I was there, doing the Nashville thing, I met my now manager, Nathan, and he had an artist development company, which I would not have made the move to Nashville without. To have somebody with their feet on the ground in Nashville and knowing the whole vibe and the way that Nashville works was tremendously helpful to me. And his company's called 0 to 60. And they've helped me so much just in understanding, how to put a plan together. I thought tours were only once you sell out arenas. I didn't know you.
Right. That's what I would have thought.
Yeah, I didn't know you can tour. I don't know clubs exist. I didn't know, and I think live music culture in Canada and the U.S. is a little bit different. I think there's a lot more. First of all, everything's closer in the States, but there's a lot more live venues of different sizes that you can play, and we don't have as much of that up here. So, I learned really quick. I got on the horse and kind of learned how to go really quick, and with that connection with Jim Cressman and having recorded an album and having an album coming out, we were able to get on that George Canyon tour for 2 months across Canada, and that was That was massive for us because we had not played very much with my band in Nashville before that, and we got to play nearly 40 consecutive shows. I think we had only 3 days off. You're going to learn, you're going to get to adapt, and you're going to learn each other pretty damn quick. So, yeah, it was really, really, really cool to be able to do that and go out there, practice certain things. And, I've announced or talked about a song before playing it, and I went, oop, that's not it. That's not the right one. We'll get it tomorrow. Or, maybe don't say that next time, or, that kind of thing. Or that worked. That got a reaction out of the crowd. So, it gave me the chance to really.
It's like you're building your show and honing your craft and just working on it. I think that's what people don't understand. Like you and I, in all artists, it's not that we only, sing and play and make music, but like there are like 1,000 other things. Like what people see is the tip of the iceberg, but everything else underneath is what you've built underneath of it. That's building the show. It's learning, how to talk to a crowd, how to do an interview, how to really interact and act. I'm sorry, that sounded bad. How to draw people in with your personality, with who you are, and it's fun. It's a science, dude. Like it's figuring out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, it's a science, and like you said, interviews. I mean, I luckily on that tour, because it's one of the bigger things rolling through certain towns that time. I was able to do a lot of interviews and do a lot of radio shows and stuff like that. And, we had a song on the radio here in Canada at the time. And so that was all helpful. So I think there's a certain time where things are meant to be and they just meet at the right point. And I think for a lot of things that tour did a lot of good for us because of it, because of songs on the radio, things to talk about. We're on a tour, first time on a tour bus and all that kind of stuff. So, it was pretty wild to be part of, and definitely helped us as a band grow.
I think it's you hit it perfectly. I mean, when you least expect it is when the good stuff happens. Like, and you gotta be diligent and having the faith. Just pick at it every day, and eventually, like you said, things will line up in the weirdest way that you ever thought. Yeah. So if there's any artist that's still like that's listening to this, it's picking away at that dream, like stay at it. Like you never know when it's going to happen. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people say like it's all luck and not everybody gets those lucky chances. I beg to differ. I think that every connection you make has potential in really doing something. And I would say that in anybody's journey, they've had several stars that align how they need them and they just didn't know it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think my dad's always told myself and my brother growing up that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And that's something that sticks with us forever, because you just got to be ready to go. And we joke about we had a game on the beach, a bit tossing a football. We all sit in a circle and it was called Always Ready. But the reality is you got to be ready, man. You got to always be ready to go with something. And I think my team and I right now have been doing a really good job at keeping everything ready to go. I know that we've had the album now. New Ink has been with us since October of last year, coming out in November, but we're already working on the third project, and whatever comes our way, we're going to be ready for. And I'm not in Nashville yet, but I will be hopefully soon. And my band's been down there rehearsing, ready to go. So we're just waiting for an opportunity to kind of just explode out of the gates after this COVID thing, and we'll be ready to go.
Well, I definitely think you're setting yourself up for that kind of success. I'm right there with you, man. Hit the ground running. Now, you just recorded a music video to tell us about that.
Yeah, we recorded a music video for Born to Ride that came out the week after the song came out, which was really cool. I think we had a different idea for it. I think we wanted to do a bit of a storyline with it. And
it looked like you're in a warehouse / like shed, like big. What were you? Were you in a barn, a warehouse?
It was a blimp hangar.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, which was nuts because there was a couple of blimps in there while we were there, and to see a blimp up close is absolutely incredible. It's like it looks. Yeah, it was just outside of Nashville. I forget exactly where we were, but it was just outside Nashville. And the team, the camera team found it, the production team, and they've made a few of my music videos. Um, but I trust them now. I mean, we were been working with them for a while, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do this performance side of the video here, and then we'll do the storyline, some other time." And I'm like, "This is great. This is what we talked about." After seeing, sort of the playbacks and stuff like that, I was like, "No, I think this is just I mean, me as well as the team. I think we came together and we're like, I think we just keep this as a performance video. I think that we don't really have to play with it. We don't really have to touch it too much, and the scenery looked really cool, and I wanted something to show off, a small snippet of our live show.
Yes, dude, I'm telling you right now, that music video is badass.
Won't you bow, baby? Way too wild, too far gone now to save me. You should have been long gone, but you just keep hanging on. You wrap your arms around me, girl, then we throw it in dry. We ain't slowing down, baby. You with me by my side, girl. We all the night, baby. We were born to ride.
Hell yeah, Paw Paw, and you just listened to Born to Ride by Manny Blu. I want to have some fun on this half. Is that cool?
Yes,
now,
let's do it.
do you mind if I ask like questions about like Canada and like culture differences between? Is that okay to talk about?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay,
man.
so first of all, I want to shit. So, do you know what hell yeah, Paw Paw means, or have you ever heard me like talk about it, or however you probably heard me say it?
Definitely heard you say it. I think I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure.
So it's all right. A lot of people, they don't like. I've heard a lot of different things when I say it. So let me talk about the origin of it. Back in high school, I was a 3-4 sport athlete, and me and my buddies, I had two like tight teammates, and anytime that they would do something that was just absolutely disgraceful, they would say, "Hell yeah, Paw Paw." And like, so like in our neck of the woods, Paw Paw is a grandfather. Like Paw Paw, like
Right.
my grandparents are Paw Paw Jack and Paw Paw Sonny. So it
Right.
just kind of adds a whole like we were just so goofy about it, like just so like childish. We thought it was so funny. It's like looking at your grandpa and saying "hell yeah." So we would just say it. It was just like the most, because like I mean we're Appalachia, man. Like we're redneck area hillbilly stuff, and we just thought it was the funniest thing ever. So when I started playing music, and when I started to kind of build my following here in Columbus, when I'd have shows, I'd get up on stage and the first thing I'd say is "hell yeah, Paw Paw." And I don't know if it was just like something I'd say to kind of take the edge off of me, or if it was just something to get hyped up, or just something to be funny. But that's kind of like how I'd say it. And then people like they thought that it was like funny or just like goofy,
Right.
or like what the hell is he saying? And
Right.
it just eventually caught on. So every time like I have a show, like there's always a crowd of people just saying "hell yeah, Paw Paw" at various points in my shows. So that's kind of how that came about.
That's awesome.
But I want to hear some. I'm going to ask you some questions here. So so like what are there different sayings in Canada that like I would not understand, or you could go to Nashville and say and someone wouldn't understand, like.
I'm trying to think. I think the first one. Well, there's two that I've kind of brought with me, I guess, from Canada, and it took people a while to get used to. One was a beauty.
A beauty.
If you're if you're a beauty, that's like somebody who's doing something cool, or somebody does you a favor, or You don't even ask him to get you a beer. That guy's a beauty. So things like that. But one that people had a hard time with was chirp.
Chirp?
Yeah. When you get chirped or you're chirping, it's like shit talking somebody.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
some people were I heard some people chirping.
Yeah. Oh wow, what a chirp! Or that guy, I dropped my beer all over the floor, and the guy was chirping me, or I don't know. I don't know why all my examples have beer involved. But.
No, it's okay, man. Okay, so what sports did you play in high school?
High school, I played soccer and hockey.
Hockey,
and then
what point? How old were you when you picked up MMA?
16.
So,
yep.
Do you at what age do you graduate?
I graduated 2012. I think I was 18.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
At the time.
That's like
so in Quebec. In Quebec, we have a sort of in between thing. This, I guess, it would be some kind of college called HYPP that is in between high school and university.
Okay.
And it's like 2 years. I happened to do 5 and didn't really even graduate. But I stopped MMA for a little bit to play football with the CJEP team, and because of my soccer background, I was a kicker. I actually wanted to go play. My dad played football in CJEP as well, and was like, it's a cool way to meet people. It's a fun thing to do. You only get it one time in your life. You get to do something like that. So I was like, you know what? If I'm going to play a sport, then it's going to be soccer. Because that's what I've been playing in high school, and I wanted to. I took the tour of the school and everything, and wanted to play soccer, and I wanted to go meet the soccer coach, and the football coach is sitting there, and he goes, "Hey, what sport do you play?" I'm like, "Soccer," and I've been MMA for a little bit, but I think I'm gonna take a break to do this, and he goes, "Cool, you want to come kick for me in football?" I was like, "No, not really, no." And so when I was like, very nice guy, Coach Pat, and we still talk a little bit here and there. But at the time I was like, no, I have no interest in playing football. Like, that's not for me. It's not what I want to do. I don't want to be a kicker. So, a couple of months later, I inquire about the soccer tryouts, and the athletic director of the school says, "Hey, Coach Pat wants to know if you want to. Here's the schedule, and Coach Pat wants to know if you're still wondering about coming to play football, though." And I was like, "Not really, still." And then so when I went over to my dad's place, he was like, or my parents, I should say. He was like, this is soccer tryouts. This is what they're doing. This is when it starts and all that. And he goes, "You don't want to play football, eh?" I'm like, "No, I kind of don't." He goes, "Dude, be a kicker. It's easy. You have the leg for it, and you get to hang out with the boys and be team guy." I was like, "Wow, shit. You put it like that, I'm down. I want to be a kicker." I got there, and I wanted to be a punter. I'm like, man, that's even less pressure. You catch the ball, you punt the ball, you just like hang out with the boys, chill, be team guy on the sidelines, and just chill.
Be a man's man, dude. Let me tell you something about that. So I played college football at Otterbein, a private school here in Columbus. I played for a year, and where I'm from, we really designated kickers on a high school team was not like really kind of a thing, especially my senior year. I kicked my senior year. So we get up to school, and where I'm playing is Division III, and I wasn't really sure of what to expect. But sure enough, there's a freshman who is a kicker, and now this is 5 years ago. Now this guy is one of my best friends, and we just called him Kick. And this dude, like, if I could describe him, looks like Scooby-Doo kind of. Definitely like a bro, like, oh bro, like
like chill and back.
Super chill, gets the lady, like literally loved by the ladies, hands down. Nice. He's just funny, but like, it's definitely, those people are a different breed, my man, a different breed.
Yeah. I played 1 year and kind of missed the competitiveness of MMA, but I think that the year I played, I had so much fun. I became friends with the offensive line, the defensive line, and hang out with all the guys. When I got there, they'd all done spring camp, and I only made my decision midway through the summer that I want to go play football. So I show up to training camp, and everybody's looking at me like, who's this guy? And here I am like, hey, I don't really belong, guys, but I'm going to come kick some footballs and trying to be friends with everybody. And they're all looking at me. They're like, what position do you play? I was like, I'm a kicker. They're like, yeah. But what else? I was like, nothing. Nothing else. Punt? Kick and punt? As punt, I guess, in my other position. And they're like, holy shit, we got an actual kicker? This is sick. We're like the pros. This is great. This is awesome. And I had a really fun year that year. I got along with every coach except for the one I needed to get along with, which was a special teams coach. But he was
except the one you needed to be in good graces.
The head coach, he was pretty cool. We had a good relationship, and then all the linebacker coach, the offensive line coach, the defensive coordinator. I was friends with everybody, but not the special teams coach. He I don't know what his deal was.
That's hilarious. So, what's your favorite? I'm going to ask you some basic, ignorant questions.
Yeah.
Do you like Mountain Dew?
I don't have a whole lot of Mountain Dew.
Really?
I never really. I think I had it one time, and I thought it was. I expected something else, so it wasn't really. It's not against Mountain Dew. I just didn't. It was. I like Diet Coke.
You like Diet Coke?
So I don't know. I don't like the fruity sort of sweet drinks. Really.
Oh, you like a cola, like something that's
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. That's okay. We can agree there. I love Dr. Pepper, my man.
Dr. Pepper's on the real.
Dr. Pepper in every single one of them 23 flavors.
Exactly. Yep.
So, what's your favorite beer? And then I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite, Canadian beer?
Okay, good question. Favorite beer typically would be Bud Light or Budweiser. I like, but I guess I keep it within the family. I like Busch and Busch Light as well.
Yeah. I like Busch. I don't know if you can see my laptop here, but it says Busch Latte on it.
Nice. Yeah, I can't. I like those ones. Canadian beer. I got a really good relationship with the guys over at Nickelbrook Brewing, which is where we played in sort of Burlington, Hamilton, Ontario. We got to play there. They were awesome with us when we played live there at the brewery. And then they sponsored a Blue Crew Happy Hour virtually one time and sent us some free beer. Which, to be honest, I've never really been a craft beer guy. But they were awesome, and I said, in the spirit of them sending me some free beer, let me enjoy these ones and have some fun. And I was like, these are pretty good. So I messaged them. I'm like, hey, I know you guys don't really ship to Quebec, but would you guys mind shipping me a case of the stout and a case of the IPA? And they're like, yeah, man, no problem. We'll go get you that right away. So they did, and then I'm coming to the end of it, and I messaged them back, and I'm like, well, I know that we're kind of coming to the end of COVID. I don't know if you guys are still selling beer online, kind of, but I wouldn't mind getting some more if you guys are willing to ship to Quebec. and they did, and I picked they have the tall boys at packs of 4s, so I picked 6 different flavors and to make 24. So
that is so crazy.
I'm staring at them now. I just received them, and I can't wait to get going on them. But Nickelbrook Brewing is my favorite Canadian beer.
How do you spell that?
Nickel.
Because I want to look that up.
So nickel and like Nickel.
Okay.
Brook.
Nickelbrook. Okay, it's my poor hearing, bro. It's my poor hearing, man.
This is the naughty neighbor. But there's a whole bunch. There's a double IPA called Metalhead that I'm pretty pumped to try. So there's a few others. Check them out. They're pretty sick. I don't know if I think they typically just ship to around Ontario, but they got some cool stuff. So it's a a little bit north, not far from Buffalo, I think. So
Okay.
if ever you're around the area, definitely check
For
it out.
sure. So this is going to be this might be a stupid question. Were you a baseball fan growing up?
I wasn't. I enjoyed. We had the Expos.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask. I was going to say, were you an Expos family? Because they were probably going out as you were growing up. I mean,
Yeah, they were. I got to a few games really really young, but I think we grew up a hockey family, and we still are, and I still get to play with my dad and my brother quite a bit. So that's always really really fun. Yeah, I mean, we enjoy. My dad grew up loving baseball, and I forget something that happened one time, and it kind of just completely threw him off of baseball. And then it was just as we were young, so we never got into it with him. But yeah, we went to a couple Expos games. At least I could say that before they went away. But no, we were not big. But you mentioned it earlier, and I do want to go to a Nashville Sounds game. I think that would be really fun.
You know, you're talking about your favorite time. My favorite time in Nashville is at a Nashville Sounds game. It's have you ever? So you've not been to a game. So let me like describe the layout. So like there's like the outfield is like basically like one big like concrete slab. So it's kind of like people can walk around it. They can stand and watch it. But there's also like a bar there, and it's kind of like a longer bar. And pretty much, instead of like going to the bar, you can pay $17, $10. I can't remember what the tickets were. You could go and watch a live baseball game that's like right there. So like that aspect of it's pretty sweet.
That's pretty sick.
And
that's pretty sick.
You know, you like Travis Austin Customs. I like Nashville Sounds hat. That's what I wear. Probably 95 to 99% of my shows. So like.
Oh,
I'm a part of the brand, man. I like just going there, having a beer, posting up. They got putt there. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, you definitely have to do it. That's my favorite thing to do in Nashville.
Definitely will.
I was going to ask you another question. Let me see. Let me think here. Can I get you to say hell yeah, Paw Paw?
Hell yeah!
Hell yes! Hell yes! I've had everybody. I've tried to get everybody to say it, and I'm pretty sure I have. I want to make one big long like compilation of everyone saying it, man.
That's sick. It might stick now. The one I kept hearing for a while, and I don't know where I got it from, but I kind of use sometimes is Haas.
Haas, like he's a Haas.
Yeah.
Like he's built or he's phenomenal at what he does. He's a Haas.
Yeah. Yep. So that one's starting to stick. Hell yeah, Pawpaw might be a new thing. I don't know.
Hell yeah,
we'll
man.
See.
You have to. Now you
know what the thing is? If ever I use it in a different kind of interview or something, I'm gonna let you know. And you can check it out.
I'll like crop that like footage of you just saying hell yeah, Pawpaw, mic drop.
Yep, exactly.
You can have a mic drop with
it.
So what's your favorite liquor, man? I feel like if I were to guess, I feel like you're a whiskey guy.
Yes, good guess. Jack
D, man, hell yeah. So are you a big Jack and Coke guy or just Jack straight?
Well, Jack and Coke I like to mix in. When you're out, there's certain times where we're drinking a lot of beer, playing beer, beer drinking games, and you want to mix in a Jack and Coke just to make the beer still taste good during the game and not have two beers going. So definitely Jack and Coke is pretty good, but I do like Jack Daniels with. You ever have a pickleback?
No, I don't like pickle juice or pickles, but everybody that I've heard that's had one said it's phenomenal.
Yeah, my drummer Joey was the one to introduce me to that. He said, he goes, "We gotta have a pickleback." I'm like, "Okay, I'm down. What is it?" It's like, "You never had a pickleback?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Man." So we had it, and now that's our thing. So we'll look at each other. We're like, "Pickleback." We're like, "Yeah, pickleback. Let's go." That and I think they do it at Red Door too, but at Doghouse they have the flavored Red Bulls, and we've done a pipe bomb.
Oh, what's it? I don't know what a pipe bomb is. That sounds good though.
A pipe bomb is you'll take the basically you're shotgunning a Red Bull, but they'll remove part they'll make the bartender will make the hole for you.
Oh, they put
and then
like a
they'll
little
remove
airplane
some
shot?
of the and so they'll remove some of the Red Bull and they'll pour vodka in it.
Oh, wow.
And so you got to shotgun the vodka Red Bull really, and it gets you going pretty good. So
What's that called?
pipe bomb.
A pipe bomb? That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I told somebody. I think I was texting my brother one time. He tried to call me. We were in the middle. I was holding my Red Bull. Doghouse have the different flavor Red Bull, so that's what's fun about that one. But I was holding my Red Bull, and I saw him calling, but I couldn't put my thing down. We're kind of in the middle of it. We're waiting for somebody else. So I texted him back. I'm like, sorry, dude, I was doing a pipe bomb. And I don't know if it was my brother or somebody else. They're like, is that drugs? Are you serious? What do you do? I'm like, no. It's a drink. It's a drink.
that's
I swear.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like,
what the hell? Are you doing drugs? No. It's a drink.
Chill, man. We're
So-
just hitting the pipe bomb, dog.
Yeah, come on, man. No. It was a drink, but it was just it has an intimidating name, so that's why the first time I had the same reaction. Joey's like, let's hit up a pipe bomb. I was like, you can, man. I'm all good. I don't know what that is. I'm all set. He's like, no, it's a fucking drink. Don't worry about it. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm a really big vodka Red Bull guy. That's kind of like my ritual before every show. I'll get a vodka Red Bull, and it's like I've said before, like it's a pick me up, but it also just like helps me chill out for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to have to try that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So you said you like whiskey. Have you ever had Buffalo Trace? It's a bourbon.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I'm trying to think if I did. It was in an old fashioned.
Yeah,
I feel like that they would make up that with an old fashioned. I feel like I've heard it, but I don't remember actually drinking it. So it has to have been in a. They've said, "Hey, we make our old fashions here at Buffalo Trace," and that must have been what
Dude,
why it sounds familiar.
It's really good. I'm not like a really big whiskey drinker, but like I really like how it is, and it's fairly priced. And then also, I don't know if you've had this. So have you ever had a Moscow Mule? Have you ever had a whiskey mule?
Yes,
Bro.
I call it Tennessee Mule because I put Jack D in it, but I've heard it called Kentucky because I think they were using Bullet.
Yes.
So I changed it to a Tennessee Mule with Jack D.
Dude, I think that's probably got to be my favorite mixed drink right now. I went down to Nashville at the big, and I went to the Big Machine Distillery. It's like right beside the FGL house.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really know what to try here. I said I typically get the usual like Jack and Coke, and he was like, well, right now we have this thing. It's a whiskey mule, and I was like, what? And he made it hands down, probably like one of the best like bar drinks I've ever purchased, hands down.
Well, I definitely have to go try it once I get
Dude,
back.
for sure. And they do like a little splash of like some blackberry. So it's like a blackberry whiskey mule.
Oh,
It's dope.
okay.
But we'll definitely
I'm
we were talking on the break. We'll definitely have to go down and dude, we can either write some music, we could go to a damn sounds game, we could play some writers rounds. Like it's been a pleasure, Manny. Like I've always followed you and your music, and with it I always appreciate when artists are genuine people and cool people, dude. So
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll definitely hit it up. I'll take you to Paradise Park if you haven't been yet. It's one of my favorite spots on Broadway.
I've not been. We got to go. We got to go.
All right, it's a fun time.
But
it's a good time.
guys, ladies and gentlemen, Manny Blu, he has some music coming out here in the future. He's got I don't know what to what extent I can say about that, but be on the lookout. Follow Manny Blu on Manny Blu Music on Instagram. You got to check out his website, and that's just mannyblu.com or
MannyBluMusic.
MannyBluMusic.com, and you can subscribe to his Blue Crew, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can. Yep.
And you guys need to go check out his music videos and overall listen to his music and every Tuesday I do a new tune Tuesday, and 2 weeks ago I actually featured Girls and Beer.
Yes.
And dude, one of my favorite songs. But once I heard that song, I really started diving into a lot of his other music, and I have multiple saved to my library. Not just saying this because he's on the podcast. You can see how far back I saved him, man. So,
I appreciate that.
You guys, go check out his stuff. Hit him with the follow. If you guys enjoyed what you heard today, follow Hell Yeah Pawpaw on Instagram. Take a picture of yourself listening to it. Take a picture of your YouTube screen if you're watching the video. We enjoy that. And once again, I don't want you guys to forget about the Appalachian Challenge. We have a drink that we have concocted. It's half Mountain Dew and half Keystone Light. Pour it, chug it, video it, send it, and we will. I want to see who all's going to try it and do it, but we'll make it fun. I don't know. It's something to do. COVID kind of sucks right now, but guys, be on the lookout for Manny Blu's new music. Manny, once again, thank you so much, dude.
Thanks for having me, man. That was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to hang out with you.
Yeah, dude, for sure. All right, guys, that's for today. Y'all have one hell of a Friday, one hell of a weekend, and hell yeah, Paw Paw.